Support for Cinema Classics comes from Film Columbus, the Film Commission of Central Ohio, enriching our community and empowering individuals, organizations, and businesses to make Columbus a destination for film education, exhibition, and production. Learn more at filmcolumbus.com. Cinema Classics is produced by John DeSando and Johnny DiLoretto. Listen to the shows every Thursday at 8:01 p.m. and full shows online at WCBE.org. I'm Johnny DiLoretto.
I'm John DeSando.
That was like a minute. That was a whole minute. I have to shorten that script.
I know, I really think so, yeah.
It's a little long.
Hey, look, we've been hanging on this Hereditary for a long time, and we may, this, but I think it's worth looking at. You suggested we face it off against Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
And wasn't I reading somebody the other day who made that comment?
Yeah?
The evocative of that kind of pact that goes on in both, it was similar, and this writer was suggesting Rosemary's Baby.
So here's the thing. I wanted to love Hereditary. I'd heard so many great things about it. I was very excited to see it. Obviously, I was thinking, oh my, I should temper these expectations a little bit because that never works out,
Yeah.
And I did enjoy a lot of it, but ultimately, it seemed sloppy to me. It seemed like it was trying too hard to cover its tracks here and there. I didn't think the miniatures, that theme made sense totally. And it wasn't completely tied in thematically. There's this kind of ghost story, but then it's demonic. And then I thought about Rosemary's Baby. And there were definitely some Polanski-like shots in this movie.
Sure, yeah.
And I thought how beautifully simple Rosemary's Baby is, right?
Yeah.
Married couple, newlyweds, move into an apartment building. Suddenly everybody's weird, and they're slowly grooming her to be Satan's bride. That's really simple.
It wasn't it that you didn't know if John Cassavetes.
Yeah, you didn't know if her husband was aiding them in some way or not.
But that's what I liked about it. It was so subtle and slow, but yet it was evocative of something really strange going on. Didn't hit you hard. On Hereditary, I couldn't agree more. Way too much of a mashup. So many different possibilities. All together, many of them never fulfilled. Shockingly good. And Metacritic has it at about 86, but Metacritic also has Rosemary's Baby at about 98.
Yeah. It's just, there were so many disparate parts. The clicking, that she did.
Yes.
Again, that was a very evocative device, but I'm not sure that it actually has any meaning or relevance to the narrative at all.
Right.
Or what it has to do with this demon that this cult is summoning,
Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
One of the strengths there, even though she's vilified, is Mia Farrow. I think she does a terrific job.
What do you mean vilified?
Well, it means she's been vilified personally.
Oh, she has?
Because of her Woody Allen business.
Well, they've both been vilified.
Right. And so I say, that's the first thing people think of. But you've got to remember, she was a promising actress. And I thought she made this film a great film because she was so innocent, vulnerable.
And pixie-like.
Yes.
She's got that short haircut.
Yes.
She's so slender. And
yes.
It's almost makes it worse. You know what I mean? It makes the whole trajectory of the film worse.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's so delicate.
Oh, yeah.
And for that to happen to that particular person is awful.
And you're right. In both Hereditary and in Rosemary's Baby, there's something about her innocence. Toni Collette never seemed to me to be anything but a harried mom.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, for Mia Farrow, the essence of innocence, and because eventually the writers and directors want us to go inside ourselves to see where are we in all of this. And I think that's the beautiful thing about Mia Farrow's performance. She's so innocent and vulnerable. We want to protect her, and yet at the same time we know that we are vulnerable to it.
And ultimately it comes down to this sort of obsession with the occult, right?
Yes.
Horror movies tap into this regularly. And it is interesting. I remember in the 80s when I was a kid, and there was this satanic scare, you know, like Satanists were everywhere, or certain rock groups were devil worshippers. And I remember as a Catholic kid, that used to freak me out.
Oh, I know.
And thinking about that, and people worshiping the devil and, you know, drawing pentagrams and catching them on fire, like, that was a creepy sort of idea. It of course, wasn't true.
But for me, The Exorcist.
Yeah.
I mean, that just scared the heck out of me.
I just showed Vincent The Exorcist.
You know.
Yeah.
You did not.
Yeah, we watched it. the
Oh
other
my
night.
gosh. And?
He, you know, he's a 14-year-old kid, so he had a lot of questions.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
he also, I don't know that he was terrified by it.
Yeah.
But I think he was really impressed by it because it is hard to watch some of that stuff. They could never make a movie today with some of the things that they do in The Exorcist. Like, you know, a 12-year-old girl
Yeah.
stabbing herself with a crucifix and saying the kind of things that she does.
Yes.
Horrifying. And that's what makes it so terrifying, is that you're seeing that. You're seeing something almost unimaginable, but in a very real setting. You know, that's the great thing about The Exorcist. It just happens in a bedroom.
Yeah.
It just happens in a bedroom.
Well, don't you think, too, that it reminds you of The Shining in some way? I mean, for me, The Shining goes beyond just being badass Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
But his recollections, the things that people remember, become the ghosts, become the horrors.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing that I saw in Hereditary, and I'm trying to think now of Rosemary's Baby. Probably the same thing, because there's so much suggestion and not enough conclusion
Yeah.
to all of that.
Right.
But I think it's just in Shining, it's just a hotel.
Yeah. Right.
You know, we've all been to a hotel.
Yeah. That's great. Let's unpack the endings of both of Hereditary and Rosemary's
Yes.
Baby real quick.
Yes.
Hereditary climaxes in this sort of crazy, like, I don't know, I don't want to spoil it, but Toni Collette does some weird crap,
Yeah.
and then they crown this one character, this new demon god or whatever
Yes.
he is, and they're surrounded by like this cult, right? This devil worshipping cult or whatever. And there's all sorts of, again, weird stuff going on, right? The images of these corpses, along with the kid with the crown, with all the naked old people. And you get a similar thing in Rosemary's Baby, right?
Yeah.
The main character surrounded by
all the neighbors.
these people, right?
Yes.
And
That's
obviously in Rosemary's Baby, the horror in the ending comes from her looking into the crib at the devil's spawn, which you only see for like a second. You see some weird eyes. And then she kind of looks at it and smiles. Fade to black. Because the mother's love will even love the devil's child. And that, again, it's just so austere and simple and perfect and terrifying.
And I think in that ending, as you're describing it, Hereditary is not quite as applicable or personal as Rosemary's Baby can be.
Yeah.
You know, anyway, a lot of demons inside.
Mm-hmm.
We might suggest to our audience that they try Rosemary's Baby.
If you haven't seen it,
Yeah.
give it a shot.
Otherwise, I think the birth rate is going down for some reason.